birth name, but my birth name is Rajiv. And growing up, my mom used to call me Rajo, kind of like a pet name. And then everyone started calling me Rajo, like among the Sri Lankan community. And I figured, when I first became an artist, I was just going to go as Rajiv, but in the South Asian community, there are other Rajivs. And so growing up, people used to call me Jeevo in high school. And it's actually, it's the ending of my real name and the ending of my nickname, Jeevo. So nice. Rajo, Rajiv combined. So G-VO was the spelling that my manager always wanted for me, because at the time they were trying to brand me as a hip-hop artist and more youthful, younger. And even at the time, this is why I think all artists should always stick to their first instinct. Even at the time, I really did not like that spelling, but I kind of just went with it because what else would we do? Because spelling it like my name was preposterous, so why would you do that? But every time I looked at G-VO, it never felt right. And for the last 3 years, I've just been pretending like it's fine, that's what stuck. But my thing is, I'm willing to lose the brand for what I feel like is coming next. And sometimes you have to, I have everything that's branded right now is G-VO. When people Google me up, that's what they see. But I'm willing to lose all of that for the sake of thousands more. So if I have to sacrifice a little bit right now, I'm willing to do it. For me personally, music is the most powerful expression of art, and that's why I'm a musician. So music is a thing that I naturally do. Growing up, I sang in the choir. So, I was introduced to music via the choir. So I was a choir boy. And then, piano lessons that follow and things like that. So when I hear music, the reason why I'm able to write classical pieces, hip-hop, dance music, whatever, is because I don't hear just the things that conventionality has told me. Like when they told me, oh, you're supposed to be Jeevo, oh, you're kind of like an urban thing, I was like, urban? What's urban about me? I'm from Sri Lanka. Mainly I songwrite on a piano, and I never come up with lyrics before the music. Because if I did that, then I should be a poet or an author. But I'm a musician, so everything is derived from the music. So I never have an agenda when I write. So Endangered Species, people are like, oh, this is a really well thought out album. Nah, it wasn't. I had 4 chords. And I was like, this would be super dope if I made a synth pad out of it and it sounded like I was in the ocean. And then from that came the idea I'd be like an alien, and from that I'd be like, oh, endangered species, because then we could call people to greatness. So it kind of spirals out of control from one little tiny thing. And so for me, music is as important as the lyrics. Even though like people say that my forte is my lyrics, I actually think it's the music, because the lyrics are derived from the chord progressions and things like that. So I always start at the piano, and then I always have to fight with myself in terms of what I want to do, in terms of what genre. Because honestly, I feel like I have the whole palette at my disposal, and every song that you've heard of Jeevo was actually another genre before it became what was on the record. So some of my rap songs that are on the album were actually ballads before. We just sped it up and changed the drums and all sorts of stuff. So it makes for a very difficult process, but it's fun. I was just there for a year and a half before my family was forced to immigrate to America. We came here because there was a civil war there. In Sri Lanka, there's 2 races, the Tamils and the Sinhalese. And the Tamils are the minority race, and they were being wiped out of the city because of reasons that we probably can't get into now because of the time. But essentially, they came to my house, they burned it down, they threatened to kill my mother, and all sorts of things. And my brother almost died in war, and my grandma, in the midst of this whole commotion at the house. And after that, my parents decided we're not staying here. So my uncle, who happened to be doing music in the United States, sponsored us, and we came and lived with him in Pasadena, and that's where we're at today. I used to glorify suffering like it was a defining thing of my life, but I realized that that was actually the worst way to heal, and actually suffering is bad, and it shouldn't be glorified, but it's really your response to it and how you engage with the catastrophic that makes you into who you are. I made a lot of mistakes in interacting with my suffering. I didn't make terrible ones, but to me they were terrible. I made bad emotional choices. I've made bad spiritual choices, and I think a lot of people will look at my life and they might say, oh, he's got it together, but to me, like, I know the depths of my imperfection. So the road to maturity was really made by making mistakes and praying that something in the universe has enough grace and compassion to walk with me through my mistakes.
Yeah.
Popular music actually inspired me a lot because I used to watch Michael Jackson shows when I was like 8 years old and see his HBO concerts that we would purchase like $2.99 back then.
Yeah.
And I would see all these people respond to one person on stage. And so Michael Jackson is definitely the first musician that I ever heard, that I ever liked, that I was really into. And right after that, you know, Boyz II Men, actually. Boyz II Men were cool because what I loved about them is they were really talented, they were big into melody, but what was most inspirational about them is they were just clean-cut dudes. They were super positive, very clean, and I was like, this is probably bad, it's probably not good. Because back then, growing up, it's like everything negative was cool. And they were the first thing that was positive that was super cool. And they blew up like 95, 96, and you know, I was like 10 or something like that. And that was amazing to me because I did have a pretty strong moral compass for that age because my mother, you know, with her passing, and she instilled in me my faith and things like that. So I had a very strong moral compass. So when I saw things like that, I would be so excited. So even to this day, my favorite rap artist, his name's Lupe Fiasco, he stands for the same thing. He's very positive, but he's cool at the same time, and that makes me very excited. Cool people to me are people who are so secure in their skin. It's like, yo, this is who I am. If you don't like it, I respectfully disagree with you, and if you like it, well, here I am. I like earth tones a lot, but baby blue is like, or light blue, I don't know why I like that color. I think it's because it's lighter blue. A choir.
Really?
A choir that harmonizes very well. I like chorale music. That's my favorite kind of music.
Okay.
I don't say that much, but I love choirs. Children's choirs, because I like to hear, first of all, children don't hear music the way we do, so when they sing, it's different. And so they blend actually better sometimes than adults. So I like, have you ever heard African children's choirs? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They just blend because their ears have no, their ears aren't as contaminated as the rest of us.
Okay.
Heavy metal. I'm talking about the type of heavy metal where they scream, like literally scream, not like when old people say, "Oh, you're screaming."
Like death metal?
Death metal, that's what it is. Heavy metal is probably good. Death metal, I don't understand what's happening.
Okay.
I've never been so ashamed of music. Dolphins.
Why?
Why not? I mean, they seem like they're the most human animals. They have emotions, and they're in water, and they look good. The stars fascinate me because it reminds me of how small I am. Seafood and fish. If I had to eat one thing every day, it would be fish and rice. I think I would be 3 things. Either, well, I'd either be a teacher, a lawyer, or pastor. One of the three. Michael Jackson's Dangerous. Boyz II Men's 2. They have an album called 2. Coldplay's X and Y. Oh my God, why would you do this to me? That's the...
No, you have 2 more.
College Dropout, Kanye West, and Jeevo, because I like to listen to myself. It's not a... Well, I'll say this to that question. When we were little, my mom, we used to be fascinated with basketball and baseball trading cards. So one time, and we were really poor, and they were only like 50 cents at the time at like Save On or something like that. So when we got some, it was like the best thing in the world. So one time, my mom took a pack of cards and she put it on the pillow, and she was like, "Oh my God, Rajiv, come now." And we're like, "What?" She's like, "There's a huge spider under the pillow." And I was like, "I want to see." And I went like this, and it was like 3 packs of basketball cards, and that did it for us. So that was the best gift.
Nice.
There's a song by 112 called Cupid. This is back in high school days. But the most important song is called Secret, and it's on my new album called Endangered Species, because the song is for one person. Who? I don't know if it is. I don't know who that person is, but it's for one person. It's called Secret.